Hi, my name is Gil Cargill. Welcome to my presentation called No One Goes Out of Business by Selling Too Much. You've been invited to view this presentation because your coach told us that you may be looking for better ways to grow your business. We're a 38-year-old organization that helps companies like yours grow their top and bottom line. And as you can see, I've established a lot of celebrity and notoriety because of my unique approach to optimizing sales results. As a matter of fact, many of our services are guaranteed on a satisfaction basis because we approach the process of finding, acquiring, and retaining customers, not just the skills of selling. If you run a small to medium business and you're frustrated or dissatisfied with the dollars that your company is producing, you need to talk to your coach a little bit further. During the past 38 years, we've worked with over 5,000 business-to-business and business-to-consumer sales organizations. We have a nationwide network of coaches that is growing very rapidly. And all of our coaches are experienced sales executives. They bring the experience, time, talent, and know-how to each engagement to coach our clients, you, through the process of growing your top and bottom line. We position ourselves as sales acceleration coaches because we accelerate the acquisition of profitable revenue by coaching you to change the process. The decades of experience in all industries that we bring to your organization will produce spectacular results, satisfaction guaranteed. Now, back in the early 1920s, this sales force didn't need any coaching. The reason they didn't need a coach is because they were selling against no one. There were no competitors for the first telephone sales force in Los Angeles, where this picture was taken. Obviously, in today's world, there's a competitor for literally everything. I have yet to encounter a client, and I've worked with thousands, that doesn't have at least one or two significant competitors. How about you? Your coach will help you craft strategies, tactics, and plans to overcome these competitive pressures. Now, I realized back in the 1980s that the problem with most business-to-business and business-to-consumer sales organizations is that they're following a process that literally was documented in 1873. You see, way back in 1873, the founder of NCR, a gentleman by the name of Patterson, documented the first sales training manual in the United States. Following that process here in the 21st century is a guaranteed way to make sure that you compete for less than 10% of all available opportunities. As a matter of fact, one of the first things you and your coach will work on is how to compete more often. Literally, just by competing more often, will drive your top line. And I look forward to hearing results from your coach similar to one of our clients in the upper Midwest. As a result of implementing new processes, they increased their sales year to year by 83% during the recession. Now that's because we changed the process. We didn't attempt to change the people. You see, the old process accounts for revenue, not the activities that achieve revenue. And because of the way many entrepreneurial businesses, small and medium businesses like yours, have deployed their sales and marketing resources, they have inadvertently limited the amount of selling time. Studies that we've done and others have done show that the average sales force today can have as little as 14% of each day available for pursuing new revenue. So your coach will work with you to get rid of the obstacles that are keeping you and your team from selling more, to implement strategies and tactics to get you to compete more. And that's a 1-2 punch which will drive your top and bottom lines. And we have to change the way we sell because the way customers buy has changed dramatically. Literally, according to the book Permission Marketing, which was written by Seth Godin, today's decision maker gets 3,000 marketing touches every day. They take 17 phone calls every day, and they meet with 4.8 salespeople every week. These decision makers are very insecure, they avoid risk, they won't answer the phone, and they resent prospecting. You probably have encountered that resistance as you've tried to grow your business. Back in the day when that telephone sales force was out, there was no phones to be answered. And back in my early days in the 1970s, when I sold for IBM, there was 1/100th the resistance that we're encountering today. We've developed new tactics and strategies that overcome these problems. continuing to prospect the way we prospected in the last century will continue to produce marginal, if not defeating, results. You see, your buyers don't like to be treated like a target. Now, I'd like you to draw your attention to the slide over my shoulder here, and you'll see that we have a formula highlighted in red. This is our sales success formula. Opportunity volume times closing ratio equals sales volume. Now, opportunity volume is driven and controlled by the degree of TOMA, or top-of-mind awareness, that you obtain and maintain with your prospects in your marketplace. So again, one of the first things you and your coach will look at is how many opportunities are you actively pursuing? And here comes the big question. How many opportunities should you pursue? Our studies, based on thousands of companies, show that the average company competes for less than 10% of all of the active decisions occurring in their market at any given time. By just competing more often, you'll win more. I'm sure you agree that makes sense. And your coach will show you how to do that. Now, the closing ratio is a function of the skills of you and or your salespeople. Now, in the old days, had we met back in the early 1980s, I would have told you you should hire us to train you and your team to sell better. But that's not the key. Opportunity volume times closing ratio equals sales volume, and that's where we want to go. You see, that skills training will affect the closing ratio, but it's a function of the God-given attributes of the sales team. If the sales team doesn't have the DNA, then no amount of training will change dramatically nor permanently their ability to find and acquire new revenue. On the other hand, when we drive opportunity volume, we directly and mathematically drive new account conversions. For instance, were you and your coach to triple the opportunity volume, and believe me, that's easier than it sounds, were you to triple your opportunity volume, if you remember your 8th grade algebra, you'll have a significant tripling impact on sales volume. Let's not try to change the skills of the people. Let's change the process, and your coach will show you how to do that using our proven systematic approach to driving the top and bottom line. Remember, it's taken me over 38 years to perfect this system, and your coach has been trained to implement this system perfectly and flawlessly, and in many cases on a satisfaction guaranteed basis. We don't worry about skills nearly as much as we worry about top-of-mind awareness. Now, the reason our programs work for so many entrepreneurs is that these men and women did not go to a university that offered a 4-year diploma in sales management. As a result, you may have started your business with all of the plans, hopes, and aspirations that are really key to driving a new entrepreneurial venture. But without that formal education in how to recruit, hire, train, compensate, deploy, de-hire salespeople, then your results will be spotty at best. This is where your coach comes in. Your coach will show you how to implement a documented sales process, how to recruit, hire, and train people based on metrics and mathematics, not based on gut feel, how to deploy a marketing program that will actually be a customer attraction program for you. All of those are features of the relationship that you and your coach will have. Now, I mentioned a moment ago that sales training is something that we do, but it's not our focus. You see, last year, $15 billion, let me say that again, $15 billion was spent in the aggregate in North America on sales training. Ironically, tragically, during that same period of time, sales effectiveness went down by 9%. So those companies would have been better off keeping their money because it didn't have an improvement, and worse, it actually retarded their ability to find and fix the new customers. So we believe that the problem isn't skills, the problem is the process. And as we change the process, you'll realize a 36% increase in the top line on average. Again, $15 billion was spent for next to no improvement, as a matter of fact, a negative result. Our unique approach to driving the top line produces on average a 36% increase. And remember, that's on a satisfaction guaranteed basis. If you're like our typical new client, you probably have tried it all. You've hired more salespeople, you've paid them more, you've paid them less. You've implemented CRM, you've gone to SEO, pay-per-click, social media, Facebook, you name it. You've had training events, you've had motivation events, you've even tried yelling at them. Nothing has worked. And think about it, you haven't fixed the process. Until the process is repaired and optimized, you will never get the best results. On the other hand, once you and your coach have repaired and implemented a more effective process, the results are consistent. As a matter of fact, some of our clients say consistently but pleasantly boring. In other words, there's no month-end surprises, and profitable. And I think that's what you want, don't you? One of the metrics that we're going to show you how to manage right away is first meetings. The CEO of a small to medium business, the owner of an entrepreneurial business that doesn't manage this metric is the CEO or owner who will be constantly surprised. Now, your coach is going to show you how to manage and track your opportunities based on the number of first meetings you have in your calendar. And this will actually falls into the category of a big duh. What I mean by that is if you have no first meetings with new prospects to go after new business, you'll get no new business in the reasonable future unless you get lucky. And the entrepreneur who relies on luck is the entrepreneur who won't be successful. Our goal is to help you implement a precision, easy to manage process that allows you to know whether or not all of your people are doing what it needs to be done, and if you're doing enough of what needs to be done to hit your targets. Once the process is in place, your business will virtually run on autopilot. Once it's on autopilot, your stress will be reduced and your income and wealth will go up. So working with your coach, we will help you achieve your goal. And many of our clients say that they like the fact that we work at their side, but not on their payroll, to help them achieve their goals. Now, part of what we believe is that the secret sauce is measured out at the magical intersection of trust and timing. Now, the old processes virtually assure that you won't be at that intersection at the same time that your clients are. Let me tell you what I mean by that. Let's assume that you arrive at that intersection with trust in the part of your client. They trust you. They know you. They know you do good work. But the timing is wrong for them. You won't get a deal. Flip the signs around. You're at the intersection at the right time, but they don't know you. And if they don't know you, they can't trust you. So your processes of marketing and selling must synchronize to make sure that you and your optimum prospect are at the intersection at the same time. If you have their trust, and if the timing's right, you'll get an opportunity to compete. And my experience tells me that when we help our clients compete more, they win more. That's as simple a statement as possible. The number one reason for sales failure is we're not there when the prospects want to buy. Our goal is to make sure that we help you be there at the right time. Now, our system is the reason for our success. Our system, once it's implemented within your company, will be the reason for your success. We eliminate surprises. We create an environment where you compete for more opportunities more often. We create an environment where you get feedback through control systems to let you know that you're on course. How often have you sat down in the middle of the month and wondered whether or not you'd get enough revenue this month to pay this month's bills? If you don't have a process in place, you will be controlled by events. Conversely, when you have a process in place and you're managing that process, you will control events. The CEO, the owner of a company that controls events, is the CEO or owner who has the lifestyle, the freedom that you deserve. One of our clients literally spends 4 months per year in Cabo San Lucas fishing. He's created a business with our coaching that has enabled him to spend time away from the business and enjoy his passion. All too often, entrepreneurs never get around to doing this, so they spend decades working for themselves. And that literally is what I mean. In other words, they never built a business, they created a job. And in this case, job is an acronym, and it stands for just over broke. Don't spend another moment of your life trying to figure out how to build your business. Our coaches will show you how to do it. We have pre-formatted templates, tools, guides, manuals, and training to help you become the entrepreneur that you want to be. One of the first things we look at is marketing, because we have to fill the funnel and we have to get you to what I refer to as the 3X level. And I'll tell you more about that later on. But the sad facts are 97% of the marketing dollars that are spent by entrepreneurs today are flat wasted. They're wasted in any one of a number of ways, but your coach will help you avoid this expensive mistake. We will optimize time utilization, and we will help you hold your team completely accountable for all aspects of their job. Now let's take a look at this pie chart. The average sales force, based on our study of over 400 sales forces, spends 34% of their day doing administrative non-sales work, 32% waiting and traveling, and you can see what they spend in terms of actual selling. What would happen if, assuming this is accurate for your company, what would happen if we eliminated the yellow slice of the pie and turned it dark blue or light blue? You see, by implementing an environment where you compete more often and you have more time to compete, you'll be able to drive your top line ferociously. And again, 36% is what you can look at. Now, that's not a very friendly looking puppy on the screen there, but he represents the sales killing mistakes that small to medium businesses repeat and go over repetitively. Now, the first one is there's a lack of accountability. And let me explain what I mean by that. The entrepreneur hires a sales rep. The sales rep's resume says they've been in sales. The entrepreneur says, okay, go get them, Bubba or Bubette. And then the entrepreneur hopes that they'll bring back business. We will show you how to implement an accountability system that's bulletproof. Your team must be accountable to you every Friday for the quantity and quality of activity that they execute. After all, you're paying them for work, and our simple approach is let's make them accountable for doing the WORK, the work that you want them to do. The next sales killing mistake is we don't fill the funnel adequately. Our rule of thumb is your funnel should have 3 times your annual requirement for new business. So if you need 50 new accounts this year, you need to have identified at all times 150 prospective accounts. Many companies kill sales by literally limiting or reducing or eliminating, in some cases, the amount of selling time available to them. We have a sales killing mistake if we're networking and hoping that someone else will do the selling for us. And too often, networking strategies are such that person A hopes that person B will introduce person A to an opportunity that will close in the reasonable time frame. Many companies fail to have a sales plan. And while you're watching this video, let me ask you, where's your sales plan? Do you have a marketing plan? Do you have a strategic plan? The vast majority of entrepreneurial ventures that fail do not have any plans. They certainly don't have a plan to fail, but as we're fond of saying, failing to plan is de facto planning to fail. There's no documented process. They don't have the right products in place, so they're not creating the leverage that they need. Let's make sure that you don't fall victim to any of these. Now, the gentleman on your screen represents graphically the entrepreneur's conundrum. You can't build while you're prospecting. You can't prospect while you're delivering, and you can't sell while you're prospecting. The smaller your business, the more hats you wear, the harder it is to segment your time. Consequently, something is always put off, and the one thing that I find that is most frequently put off is prospecting, finding new opportunities. So we're going to show you a tactic, one of our systems, that we refer to as painless prospecting. We're going to get your prospects to call you when you implement this powerful dynamic approach. When you have our prospect attraction system in place, you'll get that funnel to 3x the goal. Many companies don't have a growth plan. We're just going to work hard. Or if you're like many of the entrepreneurs that I've coached, I've heard things like, we're going to work smarter this year. And I'm here to tell you, I hate to hear that, because that infers you worked dumber last year. Or the one that really makes me crazy is we plan to work hard next year. Again, that infers that you were goofing off, and I know better than that. You're in business to change your family's future, to change your future, to build wealth, and you can't do that without a plan. Working hard is a given. Working smart is a given. But if you're working hard and smart in the wrong direction, you'll never get there. It's just that simple. Let's make sure that you get past the time allocation issue, and the solution is hire a sales acceleration coach. The man or woman that invited you to watch this video is a coach who's been certified in my techniques, tactics, and systems. He or she can work at your side, but not on your payroll, to help you achieve your goals. Our coaches are top performers in sales and sales management. And stop and think about it. What human endeavor doesn't have a coach or mentor behind a successful person? Every golfer that you watch this weekend has a coach, typically a personal coach. Surgeons, pilots, athletes, lawyers, CPAs, architects, all have coaches and or mentors. Why not entrepreneurs? After all, you didn't go to school to learn how to do what you're doing, and we have to have a way to grow you and your company to the level of success and lifestyle that you deserve. Those first meetings are a vital issue, and I talked about them a few moments ago. I'd like you to take a look at your calendar right now. How many first meetings are in your corporate calendar? That would be a combination of your calendar and the calendar of your salespeople, if you have any. If there aren't enough first meetings to get 3 times your revenue goal identified and in the funnel, then we need to get busy and implement our client attraction system. Let's go to that magical intersection where we can drive business for you. You and your coach will work on a series of KPIs, key performance indicators. Your coach will help you implement any one of a number of the systems that I've developed over these past 38 years. Each system is driven by an acronym: SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, results-based, and time-gated. You and your coach will work collaboratively to make sure that you get the results you want. Now, one of the benefits of coaching versus consulting is you'll learn how to do what we know as you move forward. A consultant may come in and fix something, but then they leave, and you plan to be in business long after any consulting engagement. We'll be happy to consult with you, fix a problem, build a process, build a system. But the key is for you to learn how to do what we know how to do, and that's where the collaboration comes in. Now, our coaches will hold you accountable. So you're going to meet with them twice a month, and in some cases once a week. But in between meetings, there will be exercises that we want you to implement. And the accountability will be done by your coach. We're going to help you implement a measurable sales process that details, defines, and targets the number of opportunities that should be in your funnel at all times. We're going to help you identify the number of first meetings that should be in your calendar at all times. We're going to help you identify the number of deals and the dollars they represent that should be in your funnel or pipeline at all times. We're going to take a hard look at how many deals and or dollars should be at the decision phase at all times. I hope you're getting the message. We're precise and will hold you accountable for implementing a precise, easy-to-manage process. Once you learn how to manage it, you can put it on autopilot and go to Cabo San Lucas, as one of my clients does, or wherever you'd like to go. The second big problem that the small to medium business owner has is time, and your clock can be your opponent. And if you stop and think about it, there will be a perpetual conflict until you change the process. This is where your coach comes in once again. He'll show you how to delegate those tasks that are not strategic. Let's put the lowest value work in the hands of the lowest cost employee. And let's value your time in terms of the revenue that you can positively impact per hour of selling. We don't want you doing tasks that you could hire someone to do for $8 or $10 an hour. Now, you don't know me, but my passion is flying airplanes. And my wife will chide me, but she says it's almost impossible for me to give a presentation without talking about airplanes. So here we go. Your coach is going to be your co-pilot. You're the captain. You're the pilot in command. You'll tell us where you want to go. We'll help you navigate to get there. The coach's job is to get you there as fast as possible, as effectively as possible, and with as minimum or no risk. We will tag team the engagements with you to help you drive to that level. Now, on a monthly or twice a month basis, you'll have a plan and review meeting with your coach where we hold each other accountable. Remember, collaboration and accountability are the keys to your success. We won't do the work for you. That's consulting. We'll show you how to do the work, we'll keep you on course, and we'll help you get to where you want to go, safely and cost effectively. At the end of each meeting, we'll review our year-end projections, which simply means here's where you'll be at the end of the year if you don't change anything. We will help you avoid the number one sales problem. Once again, we want you to be there when they want to buy, and we'll do that by implementing with you a concept called closed-loop marketing. That in and of itself has been shown by studies conducted by the Aberdeen Research Group to improve top lines by 20 to 30%. We'll establish an easy to measure and easy to manage accountability system which every one of your team members must fill out. We call it the 15-5. 15 minutes a week will produce 5 minutes of work for you, but you'll have visibility that everything you want done is being done. We will also show you how to put some neat tools on your website, one of which is Visitor Leads, which identifies the visitors that come to your website. Wouldn't it be cool to follow up on every lead that comes to your website? Currently, about 94% of the people that visit websites don't leave their name, phone number, or email behind, but this tool will identify them. We'll help you interview and hire salespeople, or for that matter, any member of your team, with a second opinion interview. The Wall Street Journal has reported that hiring a salesperson that fails will cost you $600,000. We will help you with sales training, if necessary, if you'd like. We'll come to your location and conduct training, or even better, your team will have access to our online sales training that is available to our coaches' clients 24/7, 365. The closed-loop marketing process will be demonstrated to you, and we'll coach you through implementing it. Any one of a number of the software products that are available today will drive that for you. Now, it's all about changing your selling process because the buying process has changed. In the old days, every phone call that I made as a rookie at IBM wound up with me talking to a human being. Today, that's virtually impossible. We have to change the selling process or we won't get there. Now, if you have last year's leads on the scrap heap of history, you should get involved with us right away because we'll help you drive those leads and turn them into dollars. Our first and most important measurement is your funnel. Do you have 3 times your annual growth goal identified and in or above the funnel? If you don't, we'll help you get there ASAP, because growing the funnel is the key for driving your future revenue. No funnel, no revenue. It's simple math, but that's the way it works. We'll also help you with a process to make sure that 100% of your people follow up on 100% of the opportunities 100% of the time. Your coach is an expert in setting up and managing CRM systems and closed-loop marketing systems. The slide you're looking at comes from a study that was done by the Dartnell Sales Institute, and they found that 90% of salespeople abandon their effort to get a new account after one contact. So, that's our story, and as we say here in Hollywood, we're going to stick to it. The next steps are up to you. You can either continue to try and hack it on your own and make mistakes and learn from them and grow your business, and you will be successful. It's just awfully challenging. Or you and your coach can sit down and complete a review of the complimentary sales effectiveness planning guide which we've delivered to you, create your action plan, and then start your process. Remember, it's not your people. It is your process. Thank you very much for your time and attention, and as always, I wish you good luck and good selling.